if you see that the gross margin, gross profit, that we are able to maintain at the same level what we have achieved the last quarter, FY21. And there was a challenge for us, definitely, if you see that, especially in the city gas distributions, because of the price rise, domestic price cost of the gas has gone high. At the same time, the availability was not there as per the growth all the CGD witnessed in the CNG sector. So as a result, we were supposed to pass through progressively so that the certain burdens are not coming on the conversion factor. Basically, that is the more concern for us. So if you see that we are able to maintain at the gross profit at the same level, it indicates that whatever the price has gone up, we are progressively able to pass through that. The second thing is that we are trying to improve the operational efficiency so that we can reduce our operating cost, by which we can give the more comfort to the end customer, so as to balance the interest of the stakeholder as well as the end user. And today I'm happy to say that the conversion rate, if you see that, the conversion rate is around 14,000 for the CNG vehicle every month coming out. In the last quarter, it was 10,000. And I'm expecting in this quarter 3, it will reach up to 18,000 to 20,000 if I'm able to maintain this pricing corrections mechanism for the this quarter also.
Okay. So is it fair to expect, Mr. Jana, that the EBITDA per SCM will be able to be steady between that 7.5 to 8 rupee mark?
I'm very much comfortable to do so, and 7.5 to 8 EBITDA per SCM will be able to achieve that. And if that be the case, probably the quarter 3 results would be also
okay,
like
so,
quarter 4. Yeah.
Sure, point taken. But can you break down the revenue performance of this quarter for us in terms of volumes? What was the growth like for CNG as well as PNG, etc., and what was the realization growth, given that you have taken some price hikes as well?
You see, if you see that the overall growth is around 22%. Volume growth is there. Out of which the 26% from the CNG sector, which is basically our main business on that, and the PNG, which has witnessed around 14%. But the fact is that the CNG growth, if you see that the sequential growth is around 6%, and if that is coming out, probably for this particular the next quarter, the quarter 4 quarter, will be able to maintain more than even that as the conversions are going and with the incremental way. So I'm very much hopeful, and at the end of this particular year, we'll be able to achieve what target we have. The way we have achieved, analysis was saying that it would be around 250, somewhere 250 crores PAT would be there. As against that, we could easily achieve the 308 crore. So I'm also expecting that quarter 4 also would be coming in that fashion.
Just to further that point, Mr. Jana, analysts are now expecting that the volume growth can be anywhere between 18 to 22% in the next 3 to 4 years. Would you concur with the view?
Yes, the way even if you see that the 11th round, people have gone very aggressively, and it is no more city gas distributions is not a now it is a intracity, it is the intercity. Entire country would be covered, so that anybody is now people are happily converting to the CNG vehicle, as because the CNG availability pan India is now increasing. Number one. Number two, if you see that Maruti and Hyundai, they were the premier for coming out for the conversion first. Now looking into their growth, and all other manufacturers like Tata, they have also started. And even the new manufacturer Kia, they are also planning to come out. So all the manufacturers, they are planning to come for the CNG vehicle. And those who are already there in the CNG, they are increasing their more number of variants are coming on CNG. So I am very much hopeful. If you see the progress every year-on-year growth, it's around 50% growth is there. And this year we are expecting around 250,000 vehicles will be there on road on CNG. And as against the last year, it was 170,000. So if that be the case, then probably in Pan India, the CNG business is going to be there another 10 to 15 years. There are challenges would be there, definitely EVs and the hydrogen. We are also entering into those business, but it will take a long time. Once the vehicle is getting converted into, or the new vehicles are coming on road on CNG, that would be there for next 10 to 15 years.
Oh, well, yes, demand outlook remains strong, and as you mentioned, it's good for the environment as well that people move on to CNG. But let me come back to the operational efficiency point that you were talking about. Could you tell us what was the blend of spot versus the domestic allocated gas that you used this quarter? And going forward in Q4 and Q1 of next year, what could be the blending ratio?
You see, we have requested Ministry, MOPNG, for increase of domestic gas, since it is the no-cut category. So probably they would be trying, because the availability of gas is restricted. And if you see the growth in CGD sector in the next 5 years, probably the quantity is going to be double from today's current consumption is around 30 mmscmd, which will be going up to around 60 mmscmd. And country's production is around 70-80 mmscmd per day. So in that way, basically, government has to come out with some other policy. But still, could be some blending would be there. In IGL, if I come specifically today, we are around 1 million out of our 7.5 million we are sourcing for this RLNG. And the cost, what we have done, today looking into the volatility in the price of the spot gas, which has gone even $30 to $50 per MMBTU. And we have created one portfolio wherein all the formula like Brent, Henry Hub, JCC, JCAP, everything is there. So it is a balanced portfolio we have created. Then I'll be able to give a stable price to my end consumer, will be able to absorb the fluctuations also.
No, Mr. Jana, I ask you that because analysts are expecting that APM prices are going to double from April 22 onwards. Would you be able to pass on all that through price hikes to the customers? You're confident about that?
We are expecting around $2, near about $2 will be increased. And each dollar will have an impact around 4 to 4.5 rupees basically. So it would be around $8 to $10 rupees per kg we are supposed to increase. And this is basically the CNG business runs on your arbitrage between the alternative fuel. And as you see that the prices for diesel and petrol is going up. So people would be concerned about that, what is the percentage benefit they are getting out of the CNG business, CNG vehicle. So I'm hopeful that 50% margin will be able to maintain even if I increase the 10 rupees per kg in future. This is the robust pricing mechanism, you can say. The pricing, only thing is that when to do, what should be the right time, how do I progressively do all these things, that we have a strategic plan as a part of our pricing corrections mechanism. So, and if you might have seen the last, we have, even though we have increased more than even 10 rupees per kg progressively and without impacting the conversion. So that is our target for carrying out that. Also in the next year, we'll be doing the same thing for that.
No, sure, and I think that is the reason IGL commands a premium and is reacting positively today, given that it has that pricing power with it to pass on a lot of these hikes that we are seeing in terms of the gas prices. Let me wind it down, Mr. Jana, by asking you about your expansion plans, because you had been talking about how you're looking at expanding the gas distribution business beyond Delhi now, as well as you were looking at expanding the stations for CNG as well. What's the plan with respect to CAPEX going forward?
We have a expansion plan for organic as well as inorganic. Now, if so, the new GAs, wherever we are now, we started getting the gas through our physical pipeline. So far, all the GAs started getting the revenue. I can happy to tell you that 100% increase has taken place in this particular quarter from my new GAs. And that time we were using through the virtual pipeline. Now almost all the GAs have been connected with the physical pipeline, so I will be getting the gas at cheaper price at the GAs, and the business are going up, and number of CNG stations, what we are planning to have every year more than 150 CNG stations would be there, for which around 500 crores we have earmarked. And domestic connections we are planning every year, more than 4 lakh connections will be connecting domestic connections. For that, around 2,500 crores already we have placed the order. Then the second one is your that IC industrial and commercial customers. Every year we will be targeting around 100,000 customers will be add to our business. So looking into that, we have a huge business plan. At the same time, we are diversifying also towards the long haul transportation. As you asked for the investment, we have a long haul transportation. We are working with all the STUs, the state unit transport, as well as the utilities transport department, as well as the private fleet operator also, so that we can enter into that the CNG driven car for vehicle from buses and the long haul transportation on CNG. And the second thing is also we are planning to go aggressively on EV charging for 2-wheeler and 3-wheeler. At the same time, for the hydrogen also, we have a massive plan for hydrogen, so that it can be blended, or whenever the hydrogen vehicle will be coming, so we can start with that. So these are the plan, and I can tell you around every year, 3,000 crores, we have a plan for investing every year, basically, for new business, including the OPEX also.
Okay, Mr. Jana, on that optimistic note, we will let you go. Appreciate your time in speaking with ET Now today.
Yeah, I think we have already started around 5-6 battery charging. It's picking up. It's picking up. I should say that I'm getting the operating profit out of that also. But the scale is so low. Gradually, it is increasing. So we are there in the race basically, and EVs that I'm going for, basically in place of charging, will be going for battery swapping. So 2 stations I'm planning to install by end of this month, and the next month by March we'll be having around 20 stations. Our CNG stations will be having the same facilities with a specific manufacturer, so that we'll be able to easily swap within say 2 to 3 minutes. Every swapping time would be there.